OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal hour, and it's going to be spectacular. I found a new word to use instead of amazing. But shout out to you guys, man. It's going to be a really fun show today. We have so many topics. The topics are insane. I filmed the banners this morning, and there's so much to talk about today. So no guests today. We had guests on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today's gonna be just me and Yagobi. I did send Francis an invite. If he's out there, he might pop in, but I don't think he's gonna. He didn't respond. But we'll see if he pops in. But we had some good economic data today. We're gonna go over that. Bitcoin's been trading sideways now for 169 days. We're gonna hit on that. Some big news with NVIDIA and why that matters for Bitcoin. It actually matters a lot because Bitcoin is kind of looked at like a tech stock. We're going to get into a lot of ordinal stuff as well. And guys, just remember, put your comments and questions in the chat. It really helps the show when you guys comment. Please like this video as well. But put some Q&A. Whatever you guys want to talk about in the last hour, that is your time. Put something in there. If there's anything that you're even interested in, ask us about it. We'll look at it. We'll show the screen. We'll look at it. So that time is yours from 12 to whenever. And the more questions in there, the longer we stay. Make us stay, guys. Put some questions in there. Let's interact in the stuff that you're interested in. If you don't see that we're hitting on your comments and stuff in the first hour, it's because we're really trying to get through the banners, really kind of show the news. But the next part of the show, that's your time to shine. So put in your questions, your comments. We really want to hear from you guys. You are a part of our show, and we want to make sure that you feel that way. But without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Okay, so it's Thursday. We're 2 days away from September. How are you feeling emotionally about what's been happening? We are up today, so my emotions are a lot better than they were yesterday. How about you?
Yeah, as long as it's not another psyop, right? And we just got to kind of wait and get some confirmations that it's not. You know, the good news with the unemployment reporting, that's good, but that's not something that's going to sustain like a run, in my opinion. You're going to need some other momentous, good, positive news, right, to continue this. So, yeah,
100%, man. Let's kind of get right into it because we do have a crazy show today. So it's been 169 days since Bitcoin's last all-time high of $73,679 on March 13, 2024. 169 days. And when I say 69, I always want to say nice after that. But 169 days of degen sideways. Do you feel like it's been that long? Or do you kind of feel like it's, you know, it's very normal.
This is normal for a halving year. Yes, we probably have some pops in a regular halving year that excites people, but nothing like this year. This year, I guess variable that people didn't expect was the ETF, right? And so that threw everybody's perception off. We should have known better, though, right? We've been in previous cycles to say, hey, look, this is probably not going to sustain this type of price action, hitting an all-time high pre-halving. But look, guys, Bitcoin definitely got back on its trail of a normal halving year, and so I think that's a good thing, though, right? Because imagine if we're pumping too much when we're not supposed to be doing that. We saw that happen in 2021, and the manipulation probably curtailed like how high Bitcoin could have actually went that cycle. And so let's hope that doesn't happen now. And I think it's readjusting. It's going back into its natural state of its cycle.
It sounds good. So when do you think when Lambo?
When Lambo, huh? When Lambo. Well, I think Lambo is going to have different levels of Lambo. You're going to have to try to get the body kit version of the Lambo that's not made by the Lamborghini brand, but you know, looks cool. As long as you can trick people, that'll probably happen in like October, November, you know, and then we get to actually get that first, you know, the lower level Lamborghini, the actual Lamborghini. I think that's probably going to take place in the spring of 2025. And then, you know, possibly have another amazing into next year. That's if things go per, you know, cycle plans, right? So that's what I'm thinking. But I do think that we will have, you know, an ecosystem and just a crypto pump in the holiday range, right? Like we're talking about starting in probably a little bit in October, November bullish, December bullish. So
gotcha. Yeah, man. So we did get some good economic data today. GDP Q2 first revision, it's up 3%. The expectation was 2.8, so we did come above expectation. Personal consumption is about 2.9%. Expectation was 2.2, so that's definitely good. And the price index up 2%. So we're up on all the expectations. We did really well. If you guys don't know, GDP is how you measure a recession. So 2 negative GDP, I guess, non-growth would be a recession. If you have 2 negative GDP numbers in a row, which is -1% or -0.5. If you get that 2 months in a row, you were officially in a recession. We've had that already once, and then the government came out and changed and said they changed that. But that has always been the way we measure a recession. So we are nowhere near a recession. So people that are saying, you know, yeah, we're going to enter a recession next 2 years, it doesn't look like that's happening. But this is one bad thing is that, you know, this might stop Jerome from, you know, really kind of not upping the interest rates to 0.5 like we thought, like the cutting interest rates 0.5. He might actually do the 0.25 because the job numbers came in today and they were also above expectations.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. We're all speculating, right? Like we were speculating that he was going to cut 0.5. You know, so I think that we just got to wait and see what's going to happen September 18th. I think we all could probably agree that there will be some sort of cut. And I think that's probably where the focus should be. Look, Bitcoin hasn't been following the stock market. You know, for people to say, well, you know, the stocks always do dump when rate cuts happen. That doesn't mean necessarily Bitcoin's going to, right? It could, you know, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. Now, Bitcoin historically doesn't have great Septembers, but October or August has been really tough in the beginning, and you can see at the end here. So who knows? Maybe we do have a little bit of a positive swing to the upside in September. Maybe they make us wait it out, and it is that Green Day song of "Wake Me Up When September Ends," and the party starts with Halloween, right? Or in October. So we just have to be patient, zoom out. I think that's the best thing that I could say is when I zoom out, I relax a bit, and my nerves get relaxed.
So this really has nothing to do much. But NVIDIA posted blockbuster earnings for the second quarter ending July 28th, only to watch its stock take a nosedive on Wednesday. NVIDIA has a 31 billion cash reserve. A 1% investment in Bitcoin would net them 5,166 coins. So why are we talking about this? So Bitcoin is looked at like a tech stock. in the terms of Wall Street, not us. We don't see it that way, but Wall Street has been trading Bitcoin like a tech stock. If Nvidia goes up, Bitcoin goes up. If Nvidia goes down, Bitcoin goes down. That's just kind of how it's been for the last couple of months. I think Bitcoin eventually breaks that, but as of right now, if we're kind of depending on Nvidia and stuff for those guys. But once things get crazy, that's going to change. But if Nvidia takes a little bit of that, 1% of that, and buy some Bitcoin, you could see drastic movement out of Bitcoin. If Nvidia is like the Tesla from last cycle, right? They're the biggest tech company in the world right now, and if they buy Bitcoin and put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, that would be monumental for us.
Yeah, it would be. And I would argue that Nvidia is bigger upside, right? Bigger opportunity than Tesla, in my opinion, just because of, they're creating the actual, like, the brains behind the AI models, right? Like, or the hardware, right? So I think that's a huge upside, right? So I would actually probably compare them more towards like a Google in its early days, to where that upside is. So yeah, if they showed that they have 1% investment in Bitcoin, that would be crazy. I think that would definitely positively affect the Bitcoin markets. But maybe their board of advisors are trying to tell them that, hey, look, we don't want to be looked at as like a company, the largest company that can influence the crypto markets or Bitcoin, right? So who knows what goes on in those board meetings, but this would be huge. Obviously, there's companies like Dell and stuff like that are seeming to come on board to publicly, talk about Bitcoin. So it's not completely out of the question.
Yeah. Well, a reason they would add, right, would be as Bitcoin and the USD have historically been inversely correlated, BTC increases as USD decreases. Could this drop the catalyst to rapidly increase the Bitcoin price? So if you're sitting there, you're sitting with $31 billion in cash, and you are seeing the DXY drop, right, you're losing money technically. And if you're seeing Bitcoin kind of go the other way, you're making money if you're in Bitcoin against the US dollar. So if you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, maybe we should put 1%, 5% into this thing that could go absolutely insane. I mean, Nvidia, they were the reason why Ethereum was mining. Like, the people weren't buying the same miners as Bitcoin. They went and bought these Nvidia computers and stuff like that, and they were actually mining with the Nvidia GPUs. So Nvidia is very familiar with cryptocurrency. So this is, to me, it could be something that they look at like, oh wow, the DXY is dropping. How low can we get? And should we invest in something like Bitcoin or even gold?
Yeah. Yeah, people don't realize that was a big shift when people realize, okay, look, we're small, medium-sized mining outfit, and we're a little bit late to the Bitcoin game, so it's too competitive. We can't really win too many blocks. We got to join a pool or split. Doesn't make sense. And they went into Ethereum. You're right, absolutely right. Yeah. And I think that was a good branding actually for Nvidia. They don't think about it that way though, right? Yeah. So who knows, right? Maybe I think eventually they all kind of I would say submit to the crypto space in the sense of like, okay, look, we gotta have this be related to it in some way, but who knows how much longer that takes, right, for big companies like Nvidia.
I agree. Russia to start using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for international transactions starting September 1st. So when we heard about this, talked about it a few days ago, that Russia was going to be using the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a way of getting around SWIFT. We thought, I personally thought it would be months away, but no, it's days away.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think yesterday a little bit. We hit on it, and it makes sense. I mean, look, they don't want to deal with the sanctions, and so this is a workaround with that, right? So, look, Bitcoin and crypto is going to solve kind of like weaponizing the SWIFT services and stuff like that. So it's good for the space. Obviously, people from, I think, a political perspective are going to have, disagree a lot with this, but at the end of the day, Russia can do whatever they want. Any country can do what they want as long as it's not, directly like, going to war with somebody else or whatever. Right. But that's a whole different conversation. I think this is just really going to maybe even let smaller countries say, hey, look, we want control over, our country's sovereignty in terms of success. And this is a way to do it, right? We'll probably see more of this from smaller countries, I would say, in the next 5 years.
Yeah, man. I hear you. A Bitcoin whale, they's in the top 100. He bought another 1,000 Bitcoin during a brief dip at 58,000. While smaller traders panic, big players are quietly accumulating. So this guy, he hasn't bought since about 36,000, and he bought yesterday for the first time in a while. He added another 1,000 Bitcoin to his stack, moving him up the ladder in the top 80, I believe. And but he waited for 58K, so he was sitting there. He was like, this might be the last dip, my opportunity, and he bought a 58K. Do you think this is the last time we reached 58K? And do you think that maybe this was just like, I don't know, this was just him buying?
Yeah, I'm not going to put that out there that this is the last time we hit 58K because I feel like I'll jinx it. But I think it's just a smart Bitcoiner that realizes that, hey, regardless, I don't know what the lowest it could get to on this downswing. I'm just going to take advantage of these cheap prices, right? We see these whales do this from time to time because you don't know. You don't know if it's going to go to 51. That was something that was on the table. Today looks very different, right? And that's just kind of how the volatility's been recently with Bitcoin. And I think he's probably saying, hey, like, I'm not going to keep rolling my dice with the price getting down low. And looks like he made the right decision, at least in the short term, because we're at 61. We just crossed over 61,000. Now there's a couple of resistant price points that we got to, get back above 62.1. I would say 62.2 is another one, right? That was one of those liquidity pockets, but it got rejected there really, really quick last time it got in that range. So if we can get back above that, then we might not see it for a while. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be another dip for the rest of the year. I'm just not going to do it because every time I do, there's a dip. It doesn't come right after, but it's like, a couple weeks or something. So let's just say things are looking pretty good right now for this rebound, but it's short-lived so far.
Well, if you won't, I will. That was the last time we're ever below 60 ever again. No, I'm just kidding.
I think you have a worse record of saying it.
Global payments company NCR is launching a Bitcoin cash out ATMs. 30,000 ATMs are launching. This is a new thing. You'll be able to sell your Bitcoin at these ATMs, and this is their way of saying, sell us your Bitcoin. So you will not be able to buy at these ATMs. You'll only be able to sell. What do you think about that?
Wow. Dude, one of my close friends works for Global Payments. And so, so this is a Global Payments industry.
Company,
okay.
NCR.
There's an actual company called Global Payments, though. So I was like, are they doing that? Okay, so yeah, this is actually really bullish, right? They're saying, hey, look, you can just, sell us your Bitcoin right here.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and set up a thing. Now, I think probably educated investors and stuff are going to immediately think, taxes and stuff like that. Obviously, as a good citizen, you want to pay your taxes and stuff, but this is going to be very, very, very traced, which should be if you're going to pay your taxes on it. Which
you're probably going to have to sign up, put your social security number in, and all that before you're able to go to the ATM.
Yeah,
you probably
huge KYC
on your phone. Yeah, and be able to buy. But obviously, I don't know if you ever used an ATM. We have one around the corner at one of the stores around me, and if I want to go buy a full Bitcoin, I'd be paying like 68,000. And if I want to sell my Bitcoin, I'd be selling it for like 54,000. So it's huge amount difference than what I can just go buy it on Coinbase for, but you can get cash right from the machine.
Yeah, and that's going to be the, I think, enticing factor for them. It's not going to work for people like us, but it could work for people that are newer to the space. And I mean, this is what happens when new industries get built, right? It's how can we make a profitable business? How can we make things more convenient for the end user? And you're going to see more and more and more of this type of approach because that's what wins in a Web 2 style business. And yes, we're in Web 3, but I think some of the business fundamentals will always carry over.
Yeah. All right, jump to the next thing here. Ethereum ETF inflows positive for the first time in 2 weeks. Yesterday, ETH ETF had an overall positive inflow for the first time since the 14th of August. So they had about 14 days of selling pressure. And today, and we know that's coming from Grayscale. We know that Grayscale Trust was converted to a Grayscale ETF. So people that were locked in there have been selling. But this is the first time in 2 weeks that it was positive, more inflows than outflows. What do you think about this?
It's about time, right? People were waiting for a same type of response from the Ethereum ETF that the Bitcoin ETF had. didn't really get that because I think the overall market, it does. This also shows the overall sentiment of Bitcoin does truly affect things. Now, there's been some weird things with Ethereum, for example, like the Ethereum Foundation, selling down a lot of their Ethereum they were holding, which people are on both sides of the fence on that, if that's right or not. At the end of the day, they're the reason why Ethereum is here. That's one thing. And then also just, there's been like this passive aggressive FUD towards Ethereum. I think a lot of it has to do with Solana's success as well. But I think that this variable of the Ethereum ETF will kick in. ETH is going to have its run, right? Whether there's a lot of projects in terms of like NFTs or even token projects that have their similar run up like they did in 2021 or not. The ETF in itself will pump this eventually.
Yeah, I'm personally rooting against ETH. I really want them to fail, especially after last week's donation. I'm not going to get into that, but I really left a bad taste in my mouth with the Ethereum Foundation. But moving on here. Adoption update. Crypto.com introduces PayPal stablecoin PYUSD for use by U.S. customers as payment method. So you can now use the PYUSD coin, which is PayPal's coin, on Crypto.com. So you now that obviously have USDC and PYUSD. I'm not sure if they have Tether. A lot of American companies don't allow Tether like Coinbase does, but I'm not sure if they have it over there. I haven't really used Crypto.com in a while, but you can now go into PYUSD and throw that in your PayPal or do whatever you want with it. It is a coin that runs on the, I think it's their own blockchain. I can't remember, but
yeah, stablecoin wars, right? This is old news about PayPal having that stablecoin, but this is new news with Crypto.com really integrating. And Crypto.com has been one of those innovators with payment, like card payments relating to your crypto balance with their centralized exchange. So this kind of makes sense that they're teaming up with PayPal. We're going to see more of this too in the future. This is, traditional business getting involved with Web3. What does this mean for the other stable tokens, right? Especially on Bitcoin, because those are new, right? So I think the competition will probably heat up, in the next couple of years for stable coins.
I agree. All right, let's get into that Bitcoin fear and greed. Yesterday was a 30, last week was a 39. Where do you think we are at today? And just so everyone knows, this number is taken at 8 p.m. 00 UTC. 8 p.m. Eastern, 00 UTC. So what do you think we are today for the Bitcoin the crypto fear and greed index?
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Okay, I know where we were yesterday. So I would say it's probably like at, I would say it's probably like at 28.
Ooh, close, buddy. 29.
Okay,
nice, dude. Good choice. Yeah, you're getting really good at this, bro.
I don't think so. I'm just trying to learn from the past of how volatile it was with the swing. So now I'm trying to do it in smaller increments.
Yeah, man. All right. Let's get into that Bitcoin price action. Brought to you guys by the great people at BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be in my opinion, leading perp dex in the Bitcoin ecosystem. I think they're going to be on multiple chains, not just one. So we were originally saying they're going to be on Bionics. Bionics. But now, what is it?
Botonics.
Botonics. Sorry.
I was proud of you, man.
They're not even,
you got it right for
well, they're not even going there now. So Botonics
hold on a second. Okay, so they're still working through some things with that, but it's not like there's just not a clarity on that. But the target is still there for Q4 in general. So
potentially they will be. But just so you guys know, they're going to be on many other chains as well. They're really going to lead the way, in my opinion. They're going to be up there with Surf as a competitor. So if you guys are into perp and want to take 100x on Mr. Yen like I do, just know it's completely gambling, but you can using BitPerp. Okay.
100%. And guys, before I get into the Bitcoin price action here, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us, guys. Share the space on Twitter and on YouTube. Again, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Turn the notifications on so you know when we go live. But let's get into this price action brought to you by BitPerp. And here we are. All right, guys. Looking better for sure. Makes sense, though, for a bounce back. Monday and Tuesday were both pretty red, right? And so you can see, man, this has just been a journey down. You can see that Bart Simpson finish out here kind of, and then we are little bit of consolidation with now we are in this uptrend. So is this a fake out? I don't know yet. I need further confirmation with that. We're sitting right below 61,000. I do know that the last or the next point of resistance is at that 62. I would say 62.2, honestly. If we can work our way, because it's going to probably be choppy up and down, and if we can work our way back up here, if we can break up above this, that will give me more confidence that, hey, we have turned the trend around a little bit. I'm not there yet, not at all. But if you look on the stochastic RSI, it is looking aggressive in terms of the sell pressure. We've been in buy pressure. We've been in overbought for a while here, just up and down. Like I said, some consolidation in the middle. Now we're up above the overbought. And on the MACD, we are showing strength with the buy pressure. So, I mean, this could continue up, right? We could continue up if there's some more positive news coming in. I do believe we'll have a little bit of chop, though, because this has been just all up only, right? So I am still being, cautiously optimistic. I do believe that, we are having a good day for Bitcoin. If we can continue this and get some more confirmation, then we can, be confident that we're going to continue this trend. Now, on the 8-hour chart, it is also starting to turn around a little bit. You can see here, this was looking really bad, oversold for the stochastic RSI, but the MACD is starting to lighten up here, right? So this is a forecast for, I would say, probably the next 5-7 days. If we can bounce out of being in oversold, get out of the sell pressure in the MACD, we could probably support that trend that looks like it's turning around on the 1 hour. Again, though, there's a couple of different price points we need to hit. And for me, the next one is at 62.2. If we can get back up there, that would be great. I do think that we're going to be heading towards that, but that's going to be the main next point of resistance that we need to break through.
Yeah, man. Great job. So what are you thinking going in? What do you think is going to be the monthly close? If you had to guess right here, monthly close being 2 days away. If you had to put $1 million, your last $1 million on a number within 1,000, where would you say?
Man, it's really tough. It's really tough. But let me see. Let me look at one more chart real quick and see if I can throw at least a guess out there in the dark. Yeah, I would probably say that we could, in the month, maybe around 60, around 62, if this trend continues. Yeah. Around 62, 62.5. That's conservative, though, if the trend continues. So I'll throw 62.5 out there just for the sake of making it fun.
Yeah, I'm curious what that would look like on Plan B's chart. I probably should have looked at this earlier, but obviously a new dot will be put on in about 2 days. So I'm kind of want to see where the old dot was. Let me grab this chart. I look at it pretty often, so I should just have it saved in my computer at this point, because I stare at this thing and hope and dream and wonder why I am absolutely insane. But here's the chart right here. So it's looking like, yeah, that's the last dot. So we would probably be in line. We'd have another dot right there. Because I think the last monthly close was around 62 as well. So we'd be pretty in line with where we are. So we got that sideways action. But guys, look, we are in that red zone. We're going to enter it, and I cannot wait.
Yeah. I mean, it's about damn time that we get a red dot pop up a little bit, right? So come on, let's do it. Real quick, I want to show where I got that 62.5 from. It is on the 4-hour chart. I am seeing the 4-hour chart also, weakening here. You got the blue and orange lines touching here. We are heading into overbought a little bit. So this could be good for the next couple of days, right? It could be, but I don't want to get my hopes up because we just got beat down. It's like someone that just got beat down for the last 4 or 5 days, pretty rough. And then you see some light and you're like, okay, I want to escape, but let me see some more light before I can feel confident.
All right. Let's get into the roll call. Let's see who's here. Who was number one? Chief Axel. Congratulations to you, my friend. You are a winner. You have won today. You, sir, are the man, the myth, the legend. I appreciate you, Chief Axel. We met you down in Nashville. Absolutely amazing, my friend. It was it's really cool to put a face to your name. So thank you so much for being here every single day, and you win today. Congratulations. Number 2 spot, Tim Baker, AOD Art. Shout out to you, my friend, with a let's go. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh. He loves me and I love you. You can ring my bell, he says. All right. Mike's World is here. He says LFG. Low Lackey Lukey is here. Shout out to you, my friend. He got a Billy Cat. Shout out to you. Webdro. So I think he's coming at me for leaving my phone on the table here, but he goes, Yagobi, thumbnail fire. Shizzy, thank you for your passion and appreciation. And Mike Amp, please also phone on Tao. So I guess he's been hearing the bzzz, because I do hear people like, yeah, when my phone goes off. So I did put my phone on the floor for you today, my friend. Guys, let us know these things, because we definitely, I don't listen to headphones. I do watch the stream back because I'm nuts and love pain. But but yeah, so let's move along here. We got Yasher. Shout out to Yasher, one of our mods. We appreciate you. He said, guys, the posters are nice, cool idea. Thank you, Yasher. We're glad you like it, man. Yagobi's been really putting in that work, man. He's been grinding for those things.
What posters?
Yeah, I think you mean
the banners. Thumbnails.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Shout out to Zahid. You, sir, are the man. PJNZ is here. Says Heroes. Gem in plain sight. Get some before the story starts. Yes, I hear you. If you don't know what Heroes is, you are under a rock, guys. Because our guy, he's cooking. What is it? Hoodie up, music blasting. Shout out to him. Danny Boy is here. D Blocks. He goes, Shizzy and Yagobi, I minute nuke on bells a long time ago. I haven't posted it in the Discord. It could be something, could be nothing. I can't wait to get home and find my wallet and see which is worse. I'm guessing he saw the video we did with Adam McBride about bells. It was kind of our first out of the ecosystem, I guess still in the ecosystem, but other chain type of video. So that was really cool to do, and I'm glad Danny definitely was into it. So
I'm so happy for Danny, man, on that. Like, he's such a good dude, and when we interact
100%.
with him, it's always a good experience. And so, Danny, I'm hoping that you minted a lot of that, because I think it could be a huge win for you, and I am rooting for you, man. So exciting.
100%. Ordinals Chips is here. Hidden Gems. Let's go. No, it's GMD Gens. Reziak. What's up, Reziak? GM. Joko. My man, Joko. We got Coach Cats, Cash 8 Cats, whatever you want to call them. GM. Always bringing the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Always glad to catch you guys live. We appreciate you, Cash. You are the man. Crypto Rasta's in the building. He says, love, respect, NGM. Shout out to you, my friend. Sixes is here. Shout out to Sixes. Steamy J is here. Pelpa's in the building. Shout out to Pelpa. I think it was Pelpa who won the track validator. We gotta make sure we get that to him. Don't worry, Pelpa, we have not forgot about you, but no one has received their validators yet. So when they start going out, we will make sure that you get yours. And if you don't get yours, I'll give you mine. I'll make sure you get one. Chain Watcher is here. Wendy Yam is here. Benjamin's in the building. What's up, Benjamin? I think it's your first time here, my friend. Thank you for checking in with us. You are a legend, bro. Let's go. And that face and that hat. Let's go. DJ Clitty Litters in the building. They're called Uniset Titan Keys. Valhalla, sweep or weep. All right, so he's plugging his Titan Keys. I'm not a big fan of that, but shout out to you. SPI is here. Always excited to be on the live stream. Shout out to you, my friend. Itatoshi is here. Daywood is here. Rick G. Long live in the BRC 20s today. Shout out to Rick G. Mike's World. In hearing there is a chance market sell off once interest rates cut announced. Yes, there is people in there who have studied interest rates cuts for a long time. One of them being Benjamin Cohen, and he is also saying that this might not be a great thing, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Zaza is here. Claudia U is here. Mr. Sheedy, LFG, smash that like button, and both of you are great. Thank you, Mr. Sheedy. And check out that poll, guys. Yagobi is beating me right now. So if you like me at all, no, I'm just kidding.
But what's the winning? Is it me?
Both of us are winning, but you're beating me in the one-on-one.
Well, the both of us is winning is the most important one, right?
Yeah. I want to win though. I'm just kidding. Akala is here. Shout out to Akala. Patty Poo again. Reziak, he said, do they spit out cash? Yes, those ATMs do spit out cash. So you can walk to, you can sell your Bitcoin, you can get cash money right in your hand. Holy crap. Someone just popped in. Let me finish I'm excited for this. Yashir is here. D Love is in the building. Marsilio, what's up, Marsilio?
Mauricio.
Arrivederci. Alpay is here. Super fan, my man. Shout out to you, man of heroes. And then I think that's it. But someone has came in at the absolute perfect time.
Mysterious.
Let's just bring them in. Mr. 100X.
Bitcoin come for a Rolo. I can never get the words right, but it just sounds good. You know what I mean?
You just reminded me of those TikTok trends where the people are actually trying to sing a song and they're horrible at lip singing. I'm just like,
that is so me. That is so me. I gotta stop that. I woke up today, did some my stuff, and then opened up Twitter, and I was presented with a very pleasant surprise, which was the link to this show. So always a pleasure to sit down with you guys, whether it's planned or if it's random. I'll always make time for you guys if I can. So thank you for the invite once again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We've had you on 3 weeks in a row, and I wanted to continue it. One of our partners, Fluid, they scheduled tomorrow, like a while back. So
I just want to see my logo up there with the partners. Then I'll come. I'm joking.
Dude, we'll throw it up there. You want to throw it up? I'll throw it up. You've been giving us 500 hours a month anyway.
I feel a little bit left out. I feel a little bit left out. I'm playing. All good. Well, go ahead. You were saying, so you got your partners? No, I think I interrupted you. You're talking about your partner. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Did you finish the roll call?
Yeah, roll call done. We're good to go.
Cool. Well, hey, Francis, let's talk a little bit about, like, I've been seeing your posts about, like, people sounding like they're trying to fade Fractal. You're like, responding to that. Is that what you're hearing? You're hearing some people fade it, or you're hearing more people being excited about it?
I feel like it's mixed. There's a lot of people who is excited. I think that's the smart people, and there's a lot of people that's fudding it. And I don't know. It comes down to a couple of things. It's either that they don't want to see, right? These people are definitely representing runes, and that's fine. And they just don't want to see money flowing into that when they're already holding bags of runes. Because if money flows into that sector, chances are nobody's going to buy their bags. I think I made a tweet saying that how China's not going to buy your bags. Another wrecked Westerner. Runes Western isn't going to buy your bags either. So who's going to buy your bags, right? I think these people are aware of that, and they don't want to see new money flowing in elsewhere. Also, they're the ones holding the bags. See what I'm saying? I think if you really understand what's happening with Fractal, you would want to support that. So this FUD, I just can't really give them a reasonable explanation other than the ones that I just mentioned. But it will be a tragedy knowing that how this bull run, it could be the very last bull run we have to make crazy money like we know crypto could do. Not to say that how you can't make money in crypto, because you can moving forward. It'll just be a little bit more thinned out with these institutions, corporations monopolizing it, etc. They can manipulate it a little bit more now with the price. Don't get me wrong, there'll still be opportunities, but knowing that how this is the last bull run to make exponential gains, I truly believe this. A lot of people do as well. To see that how you'll be on the wrong side of history because you missed out on BRC20 tokens. You want to get into the next big meta that you thought was going to be just like BRC20 tokens, which in my opinion didn't. And as a matter of fact, it's not even my opinion anymore. It's a consensus. Did a poll, 65% people said they were wrecked. So it didn't do that. And now you have a bad taste in your mouth because you fell into the trap of these people, these shills, these cabal shills. And now you don't want to go into the next big thing, in my opinion, which is this. Talk about, like, blah, blah, blah. Like 3-hit combo, you're out. Like that's a worst consecutive streak you could ever have. And a lot of people are going to fall victim to that. All I could say to them is just remember, these are the same people who told you, like, who faded BRC20s and told you runes was going to be the next big thing and trade the way you trade tokens on Bitcoin forever and make you rich, are the same people talking shit about Fractal. When do you take a step back and say, well, last time I listened to these guys, it didn't work out too well. Maybe I should learn from my experience, which is that, listening to these idiots, and make my own decisions. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling people to get into Fractal or not, but I think when you look at the people behind Fractal who are highly intelligent people, okay, who's been involved in Bitcoin, right, with whether that's BSV or whatever camp, they're loyal to this niche, is what I mean. And then you have Yahweh, right, who is like regarded as like the case, Casey's like the ordinal guy. He's regarded as this OpCat dude, like the OpCat dude, who's used to work for Facebook, who are building here. Who the fuck are you going to listen to? Some schmuck on Twitter or the smart guys, these Chinese guys, bro? Who, if these guys are building it, and I don't care if they were, because I see the value in it, my decision is not reflecting what the people who are involved, although it helps. It just confirms what I already know, knowing that these smart guys are there. So people want to be dumb, go listen to your little influencer who's hiding behind his little cartoon character. You never know his fucking first or last name. Think he really gives a fuck about you? No. So that's what I'll tell them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the government, right? The government, like everybody wants to vote for this person or that person. You think the government's going to take care of you. They don't even know your fucking first or last name. You know what I mean? But they're going to take care of you. This is very similar, bro. They're looking for likes. They're looking for engagement. You know, and like people see, well, bro, like, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. Look at your following. I don't give a fuck about my following, bro. You know what? People don't want the truth. People want to hear what they want to hear. That's how you get followers. You know how you be successful here? You be truthful and you try to be right more than you're wrong, regardless if it's minority, and then your fucking bank account goes up because you're right. That's what I care about. I think everybody should too. Straight up.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Thank you.
But I will say this though. Okay, so I feel like our space in particular, because we're not in Solana or.
Am I allowed to curse? I get torn.
I mean, it's too late anyway. So, but anyways. You know, I feel like our space in particular, because that's what we're focused on right now, has been deprived of liquidity in the past, you know, I would say 6 to 9 months, right? There's been spikes where it's been good. And so it's almost like there's this PvP that's gotten really tribal, right? And so, but I'm thinking back to the 2021 bull market. And I know if that's not the same place where we are right now, that would be 2025. So I feel like we're too zoomed in for this tribalism right now. Yeah. And I think that like late Q4, winter or early 2025, that people won't be trying to go at each other's necks as much anymore. Right now, it's dry.
I'll tell you guys right now, like I'll admit this on this show. There was moments where I was like, bro, honestly, like this space is so hard to be successful, first of all, in terms of just making picks, right? That in itself is a challenge, right? And that requires a lot of skill. And over time, you'll get it, right? And then you got to, like, the market doesn't close. It's constant, you know, making content, right? You guys know, you guys are YouTubers, right? It's a lot of work, right? Setting up the equipment, getting the right lighting. If you do edits, that you know, adds to that. And then you got to deal with people all the time. And I'm like, bro, honestly, if I was in like, let's just say I was on YouTube in the fitness section, do you think I got to bicker with people on fucking Twitter on how to do a bicep curl? On how to do a fucking a tricep extension or bench press? With this, it's like, yo, dude, this is how you bench press. No, that's wrong, because the bench press has to go all the way up to an angle of 45 degrees and then come down slowly in 3 seconds. Stupid shit you got to argue with people when it comes to this type of, like, you know, basic common sense. So I feel like one day I was just like, bro, honestly, this is toxic. So to your point, I would love to see that day. Dude, imagine if everybody built and traded on the same network. How powerful we would be as a community, like a real community in the crypto Bitcoin space, whatever you want to call it, compared to like the other industries out there, right? Like Web2 and what have you. Dude, we'll be a force to be reckoned with. But now we're fighting with each other. It's kind of like what the government does here in the real world. Like what Jesse Ventura said, the Democrats is the Democrips, and then the Republicans are the Republicans, you know? And he says they're like WWE wrestlers behind the scenes. On camera, they hate each other, but in the back, they're high-fiving. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So they divide the masses to fight. You know, Democrats, no Trump, no the Kamala, That's what they want. Crypto is like that on steroids, bro.
Yeah.
It's
well,
sickening.
I think it's probably worse in our space. And I know that I've advocated for this multi-meta protocol ecosystem for the Bitcoin ecosystem. But I think that is one of the reasons why we are at each other's throats a lot of times, is because the tribalism gets fragmented so much, right? And you're talking about, you know, people that don't have a huge presence in like ARC20s, atomicals, and stamps and stuff like that. But the ones that do, they're like at each other's throats. BRC20 groups, Runes groups, and the TAP protocol groups. And I think if we did have that one standard, it would probably solve a lot of this bickering and trying to killing each other and stuff. But we're not there yet, and it's because of the limitations. But
I'll tell you what it stems down to, and is like, look, when I first got into the space in 2017, Roger Ver was like, man, everything this guy said just made sense to me. And he was probably one of the leading forces that kind of sold me to like, yo, just commit to it. You know, I was like on the outside looking in. So Bitcoin Jesus, right? He has Bitcoin.com. He owns that. He's been there since like the earliest. I think in his book, he said he saw Bitcoin do over some dumb, bro. It was like over 1,000,000%, some shit, some crazy, right? And he was saying that how in the earlier days, you know, the Bitcoin core team, right, which is what we use today, did some stuff where they were the ones who said what goes and implemented certain things, didn't want to increase block size, didn't want to reactivate OpCat, and the original vision of Satoshi's. And if you talk to OGs in the space, it's true. And there's all references to these passages, and you could verify on your own. Bitcoin today is not what Bitcoin was on how in terms of Satoshi's vision. It's supposed to be larger blocks, supposed to have functionality, all these things that now you see BSV created and Cash created. It was what Satoshi wanted. But what we hear today as newcomers from the status quo is no, that's not Bitcoin. That's not Bitcoin. Information gets suppressed over time. I'll give an example. I said this with Yahweh on my interview. Look at the Native Indians today. Today, it's just like, okay, well, I don't even know what that is. You know, Native Indians and how they lived there and what they believed in and how the colonizers came over, stole their book, knew how to track astronomy for like the calendar days. That was stolen from them and wiped out in a way for them to take over. And now today we're just here in the new world. We don't know nothing. They're finding fucking dead bodies of residential school children in right here in my backyard. There's a residential school 20 minutes down the road. They're killing these freaking Native Indian kids, bro. Okay, this is real shit. Google it. So these are the things we forget about. Now, that's an extreme example, but what I'm trying to say is they wiped out a civilization and reintroduced a new culture. That's what we see in this cutthroat business, and it's become cutthroat. So what you're saying here is the culture and status quo has changed from what Satoshi originally envisioned. And these guys, like the fractals of the world, they try to keep it as much as possible to Bitcoin, but add the things that what Satoshi wanted too. Not even them. And if people do the research, they'll find this, but people don't want to do research. They just want to go with what's popular. That's it, bro. So, and like, you know, and like, this is what I'm seeing with Ruins, right? How it was like driven down onto us saying the next big thing. If VCs want to buy, you know, list us, if exchanges want to list us, they got to buy, you know, from the market. That's how BRC20s was. So you're repeating the same things that already happened, pretend like if it's brand new and unique to Ruins, right? There's just a lot of shit I saw that, and others too, you know, that newcomers wouldn't see. It's like BitBoy. Newcomers that came to see BitBoy, they love BitBoy, but everybody who's here from the beginning knows he's a scammer, right? That guy, what's that guy? That guy called him out, the famous Twitter guy. XBT, what's his name?
Yeah, Zach XBT.
Right, and then I was calling this. The moment he said it, everybody believes it, and I don't care if people believe me. I just can't keep shit to myself. I have to express myself. I'm not trying to become popular from that, but I'm going to be outspoken about it. You see what I mean? So this is how it is here. I'm not saying there are BitBoy, but I'm showing you when you come in late and you read a book and you pull out the last page and you read that, you think you know the entire story when you don't. That's all.
Yeah. I agree. And to your point a little bit, so yesterday was 10 years since Hal Finney died. And I was thinking, I was like, you know, what would Hal Finney be today? Because I think, you know, you can either die a hero or or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right? And I think people would hate him right now because he was a man of innovation. He was a man of, he would probably want Bitcoin to be a lot bigger than what Bitcoin is today. He'd want it to be the top chain. So the maxis might have ended up hating him because he is a man of innovation. But I don't know that for sure. He might have been a maxi himself and like Adam Beck, because I think the three people I think is Satoshi is Adam Beck, Nick Szabo, and Hal Finney. And so I think potentially if Satoshi, if it was him and he's still alive, I think people would hate him because he was about innovation. He was about bringing the next big thing. And I think that would have been on Bitcoin.
Absolutely. But guess what? You might be able to ask Hal Finney this face to face. You know what he did? He didn't, you know, he died.
Oh, yeah.
But they froze his body, bro. What they call that again? To waken him up again in years later? I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Some crazy.
It's like sci-fi movie.
Dude, some man. But he did do that. I think it's like CY Cyborg some.
Yeah. It's like in Futurama when they have the presidents and stuff in the jars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the cryotherapy or
That's
cryo.
That's it. That's what he did.
Yeah.
That's what
To
he
the
did.
extreme though, because
so he might wake up one day and dump his bed. No, I'm joking. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One thing about Roger Ver too, I just want to hit on this part because they got the name Bitcoin Jesus. I read something about how he got the name. He was at dinner with a bunch of his friends. He gets up and leaves the restaurant. Like, oh, what the hell? This guy don't want to pay. They walk outside. He had 9 kids open up Bitcoin wallets and he sent them each one Bitcoin. Bro. And then one guy was like, "You're like Bitcoin Jesus." Dude, and this was like 2012.
That guy did so much. And I don't get it how people laugh at him when he got thrown in jail for nothing. It's like what they did to McAfee. He goes to Spain, the same thing. Right after his book came out. Dude, that book is super powerful coming from a guy who's been there from the beginning, that saw it all. I highly recommend everybody at least listen to the audiobook, Hijacking Bitcoin. It's almost like I should write a book called Hijacking BRC20 Tokens. but you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
But no,
let's gotta get into that. So the title of the show today is a huge opportunity: hunt for Bitcoin gems before they pump to Valhalla. If let's just say right now, what are you looking at that potentially be the next big thing right now? Like, what are you, or are you just kind of waiting? Like, I'm just curious where your mindset is right now.
So yeah, when the inscriptions on, you're talking about Fractal or just the entire ecosystem?
Anything right
Yeah.
now, just
For me,
Bitcoin,
what's gonna
well, I think this is more like, okay, something that people is not obvious to people, right?
Yeah, good.
So it's like
Yeah.
Bitcoin ecosystem, Jim. So it
Sure.
touches the ecosystem. So Fractal's in there too.
Yeah. So I'll start with Fractal, right? Obviously that's the area I know the best in terms of my time spent lately. So I'll just comment on this a bit here. Obviously the inscriptions, that's not alpha or anything like that. What I would say is this: I get a lot of telltale signs out of their messages, articles, latest announcements. So they had one the other day explaining about the pizza swap. And in a section of that thread, I did highlight it, Shizzy, when we went live together on my show. I got to invite Yagobi one day, you know? Yagobi feels left out over here. But we got to do that one day too. But for real. But yeah, so what I noticed was they said that they will have, I forget the terminology, other native fractal Bitcoin. I don't know if it was meta protocols. I can't remember the exact wording, or other standards or something like that. Something along those lines, which tells me things that are going to be native to fractal is going to be super innovative. You look at this, what Yahweh told me, then I saw the thread after. Is it Starkware? I posted the thread on my account. Starkware, which is ZK Rollup Tech, they are going to incorporate something on Bitcoin. And Yahweh was on the Ordinal show too. That's where he first dropped that bomb, you know, and they're going to be working with those guys to really bring in this decentralized application to, you know, bridge over tokens, right? Using that. And he also mentioned on my channel as well, decentralized bridges. So when I see this real sort of innovative tech happening, you know, that these other chains are doing, I think there's going to be major opportunity over there for these types of tangible products. So to repeat that, I would say the native fractal Bitcoin, and whatever that may be, you know, assets. Now, is that going to happen on day one? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I think the inscriptions would be on September 9th. And again, I don't know this. Nobody knows for certain. I'm not talking in terms of how they're going to roll things out is what I mean. Nobody knows for certain. But this is what I am guesstimating here. Yeah.
I was in a space yesterday. Spencer was in a space, and they basically said that September 9th, you're going to be able to mint inscriptions. You're going to do the ordinals, stuff like that. It's going to be the first thing that's really going to open it up. So you will be able to inscribe if you're bullish on, you know, the first 1,000. You potentially be able to get a collection in the first million. But like they were talking about potentially 1 million to 2 million inscriptions within the first couple of days. All right, so if you want to sub 1 million, that's going to be the time to do that. But they're not opening up the inscription. I mean, the BRC20s until block 22,000, which is about 6 to 7 days after the 9th.
Right. Yeah. So then that now means that Pizza Swap probably will not be live on the first day. It'll be around that timeline as well. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. That's fine. I like that, dude. I don't think you want to, with something brand new that's about to launch and you're going to press that deploy button, don't deploy every single aspect of that network one time. I don't think that's smart. So I like how they want to probably see the traffic and everything. And from what I read up, again, they're keeping this information, very sensitive information, very limited. There was, like, I read something where, like, depending on how busy the network is, something could scale towards that to make it, you know, fluid. Right? So transactions wouldn't be too costly, right? So even with Ethereum being whatever it is, 15-second, 20-second block confirmations, we did see in the bull run how that ballooned, right? So I think they got something in place, intact to mitigate that. Again, I just feel there's so much more than what meets the eye here on what this network could do in a sophisticated way that they already are going to work on, but then other contributors are going to come on at this, you know, like the Yahwehs of the world and other guys like Starkware and these guys with the ZK rollups. Like, it's just going to get wild in a good way. Very innovative. So yeah, that's the area I would look into.
Okay. What about you, Shizzy? What do you feel like is a hidden gem? Let's not hit on Fractal because Francis did, but it's something outside of that.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, right now it's just kind of time to just take small bets. You know what I mean? That's what I've been doing. I've been just taking small bets in a bunch of different things. Like I took small bets into the tap ecosystem, into the runes ecosystem, BRC20s and stuff like that. I just think it's the time to maybe start being a little bit more you know, just aware of everything. Just keep watching, keep looking, keep paying attention. For me to kind of pick an area, I'm definitely Fractal. I want to get you know, a sub 10,000 ordinal over there, and I definitely want to get one of the early BRC20s. So Fractal really is the only thing that's really exciting me right now. As for September, there's not really much that I'm anticipating.
I think the subject was more of like hidden gems, so something that like is being a little bit overlooked right now. And if you want to keep thinking, I have mine. So
go ahead,
for me, of course, like you both mentioned, I'm going to be playing in the Fractal arena, but this is something that I feel like is a little bit hidden, and not necessarily there's a big community with it, but I think people don't talk about it enough. Is the DMT area, and I think that people are going to find out that. Look, we got huge respect for the block runners. You know, they kind of started growing in our space while we did. I know they've been around in the crypto space a bit longer with their channel, but both of us came in at the same time. But I think that the DMT whole theory and aspect is going to be one of the main reasons that tap succeeds. And this is not taking anything away from what Benny has built and all these things, but because of the theory and the part of it that tickles people's brains, you know, I think that's why, like the Nat Cats, for example, I think that's going to be right now. It's a little bit, you know, looked over, even though it popped up. That, and then some tokens too, people with the bit miner and stuff like that. So that's my hidden gem right now, kind of area, because I think people are knowing about like Fractal right now, but I think what's going to be important with Fractal is like, who are you going to get in with in the beginning there? That's a really important. But I don't. Going just minting stuff right off the bat, I don't think that's smart.
Yeah, no, you are correct in that assessment there. With the last piece in terms of Fractal, and overall as well. But just a question for you: isn't DMT part of the tap? Is that made from? But isn't that Benny's product as well, DMT, or no?
So the block runners actually came up with the theory, but Benny indexes it. Right, so he's the main. So Tap is the main indexer for DMT.
I know block runners are like the DMT guys.
Yeah,
those are solid guys. You know, whether we look, we can't always agree on every single thing. Okay, like nobody can, not even me and my wife. Right, so nobody, not even your best friend. Like we're always going to have something partially different opinions. You know, but I think overall we all mean well. The thing with the DMT, it's like. Yeah, I heard that some crazy cool stuff, tech and all this. That's layer 1, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is that a token standard, DMT? This is how out of touch I am with this whole tap thing. Like really and truly, I am. But that's a token standard, correct?
Yes, it is. It's both. It's a token. It's a fungible aspect to it and a non-fungible aspect to it, right? So they're basically using non-arbitrary data from each block. And whatever, if I'm a creator of a new DMT product or a token or ordinal, then I can determine which data point from a block I want to utilize for the supply, all the information about that token, right? Okay. So that's kind of how it works. It just utilizes the data points from a block. So for me, I think there's two parts of the tap ecosystem. There's the regular standard tap, and then you have the DMT side, which I think the DMT side's really gonna like solidify.
I think you guys be smoking DMT. You know what that is? Dimethyltryptamine. You guys went on to the fucking. You guys are with the fucking Brazilians in the jungle and the native Indians fucking getting high on DMT. I think you guys in the interdimensional realms, bro. I don't know what the fuck you guys. I'm joking. I didn't want to say that's a joke. But look, again, I would. You guys know what that. I literally was going to do this about 15 years ago, but I pussied out. Last minute because it literally is like you feel like you died. And your spirit comes out and you go, like people swear this is real shit. Literally, I was going through some bullshit back in the day. I was going to do this, but I didn't. But anyways, jokes aside, maybe I should look into it more and see, because as I said, anybody's trying to innovate, I'll support in ways I can. But I just never felt like something about it is just like stuck in the mud and they're not getting the traction and they just don't have that it factor.
Yeah.
They just don't have that it factor. Could we all just be honest here and not be emotional?
Yeah.
No, is that a bad? But hold on, is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. But it's just like, does that make the tech worse? No, but they just don't have that. I don't mean block rudder. I just mean like the DMT tap thing, pipe, track, fucking all whatever else I left out. That just doesn't have the it factor. And I feel like if they made this technological advancement, the whole ICP thing is good, because I really love ICP, by the way. Their canisters and that tech is crazy. And then the launchpad with CoinList was amazing, but I feel like it just can't get over the hump. You know what I mean? Of acceptance and
they haven't launched anything. That's like the biggest problem, right? They haven't. I mean, it's all right now. Like we do Tap Tuesday, where we have a couple of the builders from the Tap ecosystem on, and we kind of just try to get as much data as we possibly can, because there really isn't much out there, and it's really being closed up behind a real big wall that we can't see behind. But the promises, and I say that as a play on words, the promises are expected to be something amazing,
Big.
but we haven't seen anything.
Can
So
I say
right now
one
they're
thing?
they're not even marketing it. Good.
I feel like they are. Like Block Runner is, at least they are. Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Right.
before you say that real quick, because I want you to say what you're going to say, Francis. I would say if any part of the tap ecosystem does have the it factor, it's the DMT.
DMT. Okay, fair.
100%. And I think that, and for the tap part, in my opinion, they're acting like a project that is trying to time the market 100%. That's what, and I think there's probably some investors in the back.
That's a dangerous
behind the
game, though,
curtain.
bro. That's a dangerous
It is.
game.
It
Timing
is.
the
It
market.
is. But
I
that's
would
my
say
opinion.
this. I would say this. You know, you said how they're like it's not out, Shizzy, or whatever. It's not whatever built or out. But I feel as though this might sound contradicting after what Yagobi just said. But in my opinion, I mean, you see DMT here, you see track there. You forget track, but DMT. You don't see that, right? Nats and whatnot. So it is being marketed. I don't know if that's by just people on Twitter, also by Block Runner. But I feel like, look what Fractal did, right? In terms of marketing. Nothing, not a word. They're working on it. Nothing, not a word. Up until about 2 months or a month before. Then really about a month before started to really pick up. 2 weeks, now we're almost there. They kind of like timed that, not the market, but having the product ready with the emergence of, oh, yo, bro, Unisat's working on something. But they've been working on it for a year already. But look at these guys. They've been working on this for about a year and a half or whatever it is, or a year, or whatever it is, a year and a half. But we've been hearing about it, where people start to lose interest because they keep hearing about it. And I'm not saying that's something to do bad with Block Runner or the fucking tech. Block Runner, I like Block Runner. The tech, I love tech. I'm a utility guy. I'm just saying this is how I, from a guy who's active in the market, perceives it. Like this is how when I hear about it, it's just like, oh yeah, well, I heard that about 100 times and nothing changed. So maybe that was something that's a problem. And hopefully when they go live, it's a whole different story. And now we can stop talking about it and use it and see. But it's almost like it sucked up all the attention from people and the interest, where it's like you can't go past that ceiling.
Well, they don't want to launch it. They don't want to launch it and there's no volume, because that's a bigger failure to them than waiting and losing some interest and then launching it during a hype time to where they're guaranteed at least a small, like a certain percentage of the overall liquidity. You know what I'm saying?
And yes, but look at Fractal. Look at Fractal. They're like, yo, fuck it. We don't care about the markets. We're going live on September 9th.
Fractal again, though, but finance behind them.
What? These guys got fucking VCs too, bro. You talk about Betty? That guy's a VC fucking lover.
But they don't got Binance,
don't
right?
Matter. So Money's money. Money's money, though.
No, but Binance.
If I get $1 million from Binance or $1 million from Shizzy, don't matter. I got $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean?
But go for Binance, because then you got. They're gonna make sure you succeed. That they want their money back times 100. You're gonna be
because
like,
all the money that I'm gonna like the picks I'm gonna make with Fractal, Shizzy's gonna take them, make us 10 million. Just give me 1 million, Shizzy. That's what I mean.
I'll give you 10%. But
go ahead.
Real quick though, with the DMT stuff, it's gonna be all about that killer DApp. Like for all these ecosystems or whatever, not technology doesn't matter. You need one killer DApp, and I think DMT, the way they're doing stuff, they could eventually come up, because there's a couple projects that are building in the background that are using the DMT stuff to make their DApp. Like there's card games coming, there's storyline games, there's RPG type games coming. Foxy's building over there using that as well. So I just think it's never be about the actual like builders and stuff like that, or the chains or protocols. None of that really matters. It's all about the killer DApp and where that's going to land. And obviously it's going to be a good Fractal is going to be an easy spot for them to land, because they're going to be able to do a lot more than they can on layer 1. But what they're doing in DMT could eventually come into really something really big down the line. Yeah,
no, for sure. Look, I said this before and I'll say it again. Layer 1 would have its market. It would. And if that's where they are, maybe they could take up most of that market share. But I feel like all these, Fractals and these other things, I've already expressed this. I'm not going to repeat it again, but I think that's where the more like higher volume would be. But nonetheless, I don't even look at it as competitors. I'm not saying you said that. I'm just putting it out there. It's just a whole different market, So maybe they could thrive down there. We'll see. But could I bring up something that's controversial?
Let's do it. I'm down.
So since we're talking about layer 1, Yagobi's like, oh, what's he going to say?
No, let's go. I love it.
It's not that bad. Opnet. I don't know, like I've spoken to them once, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and then just want to see what they're about. I've seen they're saying similar things I was saying about Ruins. I was like, shit, there's other guys out there. Then I heard all this backlash about what they did, this and that. And then I had a second meeting with them just to tell them, hey, this is what I heard. I don't know. You guys want to do an interview, open discussion? They were down, which actually was supposed to be today. But I couldn't. I had a last minute thing I had to take
Jump
care of.
Ordinal Revolution.
Yeah. No. It was supposed to be. It was. Yeah, I know. It was supposed to be at 1 o'clock, an hour from now. So I'll be gone here by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told them Saturday we could do that. So Saturday at 12 midday, open discussion with Chad Master and Shizzy's boy Danny Plainview. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't
You got
know
it.
them. I don't know them, but I just feel as though like if they're building something cool on Layer 1 too, I would like to know about it. I don't know much about it. So that's part of it. I want to talk about like their history. I think they were the guys behind CBRC, some stuff with that Oshi and others. I think OpNet, like it actually is getting attention, and I'm not supporting them or against them. I'm actually very neutral here, but I'm open to things, you know. So I'll be talking to them on Saturday, and you guys joining in the audience if you want, and others. And you guys, what I'm trying to say is this: I feel as though a lot of you guys know more about them or potentially about them than I do. I think that was in the period of time when I took some time off to build a first ever utility token on Bitcoin.
Jump off yachts, you mean? Jump off
yeah,
yachts?
yeah, that too. But yeah, maybe that's when all of this stuff went down. I don't know, but I'm open to see what they got to say, and let's find out what's up. You know, we'll start off from the past to where they are today and what they got planned in the future, and let the people decide. But that will be that. Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, what do you guys think about OpNet then on Layer 1? Crickets.
You go. I go.
I mean, we've had Chad Masters on our show, I think twice, maybe once. We've had him on.
We had Danny on once and Chad on once.
Yeah. So Danny, I think did he jump on for CBRC?
That was when he was part of Oshi. Yeah, I was about to talk about the boss.
So we had him on a long time ago. You know, here's the deal. I think that like, you know, the first issues with Oshi, I'll say from my experience, I saw Danny separate himself and him and I think Junk Food Punk Root, which was one of the devs at the time, went with him and Chad, and they started their own thing saying that Oshi was you know, the founder of it was trying to do malicious things and all that stuff. So they were building CRBC 20. A swap was a big deal. You know, they were hyping that up a lot and stuff like that. No issues or anything. And I think what happened was there was a guy that they had on board, that they had on their team, that at first was a big help with like legality stuff and stuff like that, and eventually kind of went into the background and wasn't really doing anything. But he got an allocation of like I think it was Moto or one of the tokens there. And out of nowhere, after he wasn't like involved with the project forever, he went to try to dump all of them, and it was going to basically crash that token. And so what they did was they stepped in, because I think it was in beta version of their swap or something, maybe a test net, and they stepped in and they stopped that. Because they wanted to make sure that the members of their community didn't get wrecked. So it was a tough situation, because you're talking about centralization, you're talking about protecting your community and your token. So I get why they wanted to do that or needed to do that, to try to save like basically their project, because if they didn't, it's dead at that point.
I think it's hard. Yeah, like when I see them, and don't take this the wrong way for the bad side, if that's what they did or didn't do, I don't know. But what I could say is this: like I see some of me in them, again, with their perspective, outspoken about the cabal and things that took place over there. I think they understand it as well. You know, I see that how they're, from the looks of it, especially they're on was it Mark, right? Mark's program, the hash rate show, I believe
Mark
it's called.
Jeffrey, yeah.
Right? You know, I don't know if he did his due diligence or what, but the things they said sounds like the right things. I think, you know, and again, just because you're doing spaces with reputable faces and people doesn't mean that you're legit. But I see them on spaces too, saying the right things. Although I didn't listen. I don't listen to spaces, but I'm sure they were saying the similar things from what I heard from these live stream videos and interviews. And they're trying to build. And the reason I bring this up is because not only they're saying the right things, but similar things was thrown at me for no reason from people just making up bullshit, calling me, oh, he's a scammer. He ain't, like with the tool with Sat Hunter, we were never going to build it. We were never, like, he just whatever bounced. And I'll be honest, I think Shizzy was saying this at the beginning, and it's okay. It's fine. No, it's fine. Like, I'm being serious. It's fine. Like, people were saying this. So I think the wrong perception could get whipped up into a pot and thrown at the, you know, into the public's eyes. And it's
hold on. What did I say?
Wait. No, he was talking about the Sat Hunter thing, but I want to finish my last point, because I have one more thing. I have one more thing there. So whenever they did that was to kind of save their project, right, from going under completely. And then but I think what happened was they realized that the limitation was still there for the swap, even, right, because it's too slow and the way they wanted to do it. And then they're hearing opcats coming out, and so they kind of scrapped that initial, like, the way they were going to do it, but they didn't like throw away Moto token and stuff. They continued that. I think where the problem came in was now they have OpNet, so it's like a 3 rebrands. I think that's where, like, some people are kind of like, they've rebranded 3 separate times. But look, Chad has been cool for the most part up until like that last back and forth with him and Shizzy, and then Danny's always had this thing about him that he's just kind of like, that's just his personality, right? He likes to rustle feathers. He likes to. Yeah. That's how you get attention sometimes, though.
You know? A chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's, I think,
kind of reminds me of me.
I think from like a neutral standpoint, I think I explained that pretty well. Now I'll let you and Shizzy kind of talk about how y'all feel about it.
No. So Shizzy, remember? So what I was saying is, again, it's okay. Like I could see, I could understand where people are coming from. When I took that time to do what I had to do, like, dude, honestly, at the time, like, I was a little bit, how do I put this? A little bit worried that we wouldn't be able to deliver because of some technicalities. So I had to come off a camera, deal with these guys, have a meeting with the team, have this bond, right? We went to the Caribbean, whatever, and get back to work with the devs and make sure that I deliver this. Because when you're actually creating a utility token, the most important thing is that you deliver the tech, right? The development side. If you don't, that's a complete failure. Then the price comes after, right? With the meme coin, it's the opposite. When there's no utility, there's no tech, well, price is number one, right? Because you got nothing else to go off of. So that was my main focus. And I guess I can understand where people came from, because I wasn't on Twitter, YouTube, but anybody who knew me for 7 years knows I ain't going no fucking where. And I was in the scenes, kind of like in the back of the backstage there, whatever you want to call it, working with the developers, and we came and we delivered. So a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, they're not going to deliver the tool. They did this, they did that. Oh, he thought BRC20s was dead. When I came back in December, bro, it was the worst time. It was, the fucking SAT VB was like at 7 or something dumb. It was really low. So to say that he thought it was, dead, and he came back. But I came back when it was even worse. So it made no sense. And I don't care what people say. As I say, bro, to make it in this game, you have to not give a fuck what people think, bro. And you just got to go do you, and you know what to. I think that how the average person, this is not a knock. They're not very smart in this space, right? They're not sensible. They're emotional. So I already know I'm smarter than most people here. So I just got to do what's in my head here. And I know I'm pure. My motives are pure. People who know me knows this. And I just deliver. So to my point, people probably thought I was fucking off, or he boomed this boom, or he left and he's not building nothing. So I can relate to these guys because I had similar shit thrown at me, is what I'm trying to say. And Shizzy, you were one of them, and it's fine.
I was one of them. I was giving you a little shit.
There was a comment, I think, when I was coming back. They go, fuck, the GOAT's coming back. How are we going to eat now? He's coming back to YouTube. He's going to take away all the audience, all the views.
No. So real quick, it was a comment or whatever, and like somebody wrote something, and I commented too, and I said, "Oh, he's too busy jumping off boats. He's
something
ignoring
like
us right now."
Like that. That's right.
Because your last tweet at that moment was you and a bunch of your boys jumping off yachts, and I was like,
that was me impersonating the Sats Hunter replaying back to you too. You know what I mean?
And that was you.
It wasn't my social media guy. It was me.
There was a little bit.
It's like I'm smoking my cigar. He's like, "Yo, bro, we got some fun." I go, "I'll handle that." Joking.
I remember that.
And I was trying to get you to come back. I was trying to like throw some spears at you, trying to get you to come back. You're good for the space.
No, but I didn't want to come back until the product was complete. And even when I came back, we needed like another, I think, 2 months, and then in February we like officially launched.
Yeah. But real quick with the OpNet stuff. So real quick, I just want to get up to the top. I love Chad Masters. I think he's an amazing person. Great, great what he does. He's a really good speaker. He can't control Danny, and I understand that. Danny's a little bit he likes to call himself like autistic and stuff like that. And for someone who has my son has autism, so that really? Kind of like so that kind of pushes me a little bit, you know what I mean? So that was like my first interaction with him with that type of stuff. But on top of that, it was just kind of like, he's just like, I don't know, chaotic sometimes, which is fine because I like to be that way too. But he just takes it to a step of where it gets personal. Gotcha. Right. And that's where I don't look at, like when he when Oshi and stuff was happening, he jumped into the track Discord and was just being a total asshole. right? Like that. If you want to talk about your product, whatever, that's fine. But you're gonna go in there and I was big into track back then. I was good friends with Benny at that time. We had a falling out after that, but before that, me and Benny were talking on the daily, right? So, and then I felt like screw those guys. And then when Oshi destroyed itself, right? Because Boss was never really going to come out, and then they pivoted to Moto. It was like, all right, let's do this again. And then Denver came in, and they're the talk of the town, right? So I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
Were you in Denver, bro?
No, but
Oh, no.
So when Denver was happening,
I went because I was
yeah. So when Denver was happening, you guys were all there. Everything we were hearing, moto swap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. Like the Oshi guys are building again. And at the time, we didn't know that BRC, what is it? CBRC 20 was those guys. It was, it was a new group of people. It was called Moto. We didn't know it was them. And then obviously that came out that it was them and stuff. And now we're 9 months later, Moto Swap's not coming out. And now they're putting out this OpNet thing. So to me, someone from the outside looking in, I see OpNet, I see Moto Swap, I see Oshi. And I'm always down.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. I see Pipe. I see Track. I see fucking Matt.
That's
see
true.
I don't know, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like the guy just rubs me the wrong way. Will they be successful? I hope so, because like my job as somebody who covers the builders, right? Like without the builders, I don't have a job, right? So my job is to cover the builders, and I'm in this day every single day. If there's a piece of news, my job is to find it, to put it on the next live.
One thing I can say about you guys that's top notch is your dedication every day, bro. Straight up. So yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, I agree.
But that's just my point. For someone who just watches them every single day and like I search their account for news and stuff like that, something to talk about. And Yagobi got his green screen growing. But
behind the scenes edition.
Yeah, it's not working, man. That's something happened. I don't know with StreamYards, but it's all good. Yep.
It's all good, man. Yeah.
This is
the real people like real. The good thing about live stream is they get the real content, right? So here we go.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Behind the scenes.
There you go. What was I going to say there? Sorry. Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, I get it. But I just feel as though people could just like really exaggerate things. I'm not saying that's the case here or not, but hopefully I get more clarity and understanding.
Yeah.
When I do,
I'm rooting for them. Like I'm definitely rooting for them. I want OpNet to be successful because what's that's going to do? It's going to allow me to do even more degen stuff on actually smart contracts and stuff like that, right? So I'm rooting for them. Well, do I think they're successful? 50-50. I'll flip a coin. You know what I mean? But I'm just not confident. But I'm definitely rooting for them. It's kind of like the Eagles. I'm confident that I hope they win the Super Bowl, but I don't know if they will.
I gotta put this out there, bro. It's like, if you really look at the BRC20's earliest tokens, or the ones that stand out the most, and like, for example, the guys who had the nice narrative and the storyline of the masked faces, what's them guys called again? The Launchpad? The Council.
Surge. It's the Council.
Oh,
Surge,
yeah, like that, right?
We're good friends with Surge, yeah.
It's supposed to be a Launchpad, right? And then there was Oshi or whatever. I don't know what they were supposed to do. There was, even Track. Right? Even Track and all these things. Then there was Shint. Who actually fucking came through and said what they were going to do? It's probably only us.
You did. I mean, Track was a decentralized.
Bro, but that's crazy. But that's crazy. Who actually came through, bro? You know what I mean? Like that's like, we have to take a step back and take notes because we're getting the answers now. You know what I mean? This is how I see it, bro. So, and I don't want to like fucking toot my own horn here, but it's the truth. It's like, we actually fucking did and say what we were going to do, bro. And I like will always be proud of that, bro. Straight up, man. And I get it. Other people don't give a fuck, all right? They're just here to make money. But if you look at track records, bro, like, we're fucking up there, bro. You know
the sad thing about that is that like they beat you up until you release it, and then after you release it, you don't get any praise. You're just kind of like, what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, now we don't have that to complain about, so now we're gonna complain about
something else.
Yeah, you bitching about this or something.
That's it, bro. That's exactly it. So for me, it's like, I don't know, man. Like,
well, at least you feel that accomplishment inside. You did what you were supposed to do.
Hell yeah.
But one thing about BRC20s, and you're gonna love this, Francis, is that I've been talking to some people that are big in the space and have been in crypto for a while and know the exchanges and stuff. And they told me, hey, look, if you can lock up Binance and OKX, your future is really solid. And 2 tokens have that on BRC20 in Ordi and Sats. And I think because of that, like with Sats especially, having been listed on the hardest one, which is Binance, is what I'm hearing, and OKX. I feel like the future of Fractal and Unisat
100%.
is pretty good for this, at least this cycle, right? And that's, I don't know what you think about that. I know Shizzy probably thinks something differently about it, but like even like something like Merle's a BRC20 and it secured OKX. And so, I don't know, that's just kind of what I see.
Yeah,
Runes is a little different. I think they have the opportunity, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Merle's an ERC20. The BRC20 has never been released. OKX holds the ERC20. That's it. So
I'll say this. Imagine, this is how we could gauge this, right? What has...
I don't agree with that, by the way, because then you could say Sats will be a FRC20 whenever it's utilized over there. So anyways, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It is.
No,
it's naturally originally a BRC20. So is Merle. But yes, it acts as an ERC20 a day to day.
But no, but the thing that the OKX holds is an ERC20. They don't hold any.
Doesn't matter though, because the supply is 1-to-1.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
They physically don't. They hold it in an Ethereum wallet. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the supply of the price of it will be affected on how the ERC20. If you're a BRC20, it doesn't matter. So basically, what we're talking about is like when Merlin Chain with their Merle token, they launched a BRC20, took the entire supply to an MPC wallet, and now they trade in an ERC environment. Yeah. And if you want to switch back or bridge back over, you can. Yeah. But he's saying OKX, you don't count that as a BRC20.
You can't bridge Merle to Bitcoin.
I'm at the side with Yagobi here, not because of any biases, but it's the truth, because the only way to get it over there is by going through that mechanism, right? So it's the same token.
You can't.
But it's different, Shizzy, if it was like, okay, the supply is 1 billion, and then, they're making it infinite, like 2 billion supply all of a sudden or something. It's the same unit.
1-to-1.
You can't bridge it. Go try to bridge your Merle out. You can't bridge it out. You can't bridge Merle.
Yeah, but this is the same for runes, right? When you send runes to an exchange, it's not, what do you think it is? It's not the actual UTXO base. It's like their version that represents the value of runes that could trade on the SEX.
But you still send it as that, and they're holding it in their wallet, and they're giving you a receipt on the exchange.
That would have to be something different. That's not the same runes. Whatever system they use to trade layer 1 BRC20 tokens. But actually, no, you could be right on that, because I think BRCs might have
100%.
That transfer inscription could be an issue. Yeah, for how they recorded. But it's still 1-for-1, right? Okay, you send it to this exchange. 1 token, it's worth $5. It's the same value, the same token that's being traded. You cash out, you still get back that token, right? So that's just how they set it up.
My whole thing with Merle is if I can't go to Unisat and go to Merle BRC20, there's no listings for it. It's not a BRC20. If you can't bridge it out, it's not a BRC20. Until that bridge opens, it's an ERC20.
I mean, technically, the team could if they wanted to.
They haven't though. That's the thing.
But the option is there. So if it
the option's there for anything.
Well, no, I mean not with that.
Make something real quick and send it over.
Not with the original asset. Not with the original asset though. Like I'm saying, like someone else can create like another Merlin token or whatever, and you could say, okay, you can start this. But no, you'll have like the original BRC20 that was created by the Merlin team, right? Because
what's stopping them from making a rune? They can make Merlin the rune and do the same exact thing.
Yeah, because it won't be the official one. It won't be the official one that's indexed.
The ERC20 is the official one. It's the only thing that's indexed.
You're not gonna get through this. This dude has a harder head than a rock, bro.
No, OKX,
no brain inside. No brain inside.
ERC20. OKX has ERC20s. They do not have any BRC20s. That's Merle.
Okay, so they
could switch,
if they went to the Merle team and
they
said,
can't.
Hey,
there's no tooling that allows
not
that.
for us. Not for us. Maybe in the future.
Okay, but you guys can fight when the show is done. I want to say something. I'll say something. So to Yagobi's point about Binance and all this, if you really look at it, right, we always talk about Binance, this, Binance, that. It's a good thing to get listed there. And yes, I agree to that, where I think they're more likely to support this. Now, before I say this, just because Binance invested into something, it doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to do good. However, it's the first step of getting listed onto Binance, right? In terms of, I shouldn't say the first step, but it definitely helps your case if they are financially invested, right? Doesn't mean they're gonna put you on there. You gotta, hit these milestones and show you could, develop what you want to develop and get volume and all these things, and it's working, and then they may list you, sure. But it's almost like going to school. You're not guaranteed to get that career, but that's going to help you, right? So this is one of those cases. Now, when you compare that to Runes, who Binance is paying a blind eye to, and when you compare that to now, say Fractal Bitcoin or whatever BRCs, where they already listed already, I think they listed Sats now. It's like a leverage trading version of it now or something like that. They're definitely going to be much more inclined to list these other tokens for sure, because bro, like, they're not really invested into that. They're not even really, I mean, on their Binance Square article, they're doing write-ups on Runes, but they do that for anything really. So I just feel as though Yagobi's onto something there. There probably would be, in the future, I wouldn't be surprised to see FB there straight up. I did a poll on which one you think Binance will list, most likely to list: Pizza, FB, Dog, and something else. I forget what it was. Pizza was number 1, FB was last, Dog was third, I think, and that other one was second to last. So people think Pizza. I think the one that they chose the least, which was FB, is going to be one sometime maybe in the future. We could see it there.
Yeah, I think FB will be the first one that's listed out of the 4 that you named, only because they hold 50% of the supply, right? Obviously, they did break down the tokenomics, but in order to get listed on Binance, you need to show up with either a ton of holders and a bucket of coins, insane amount of coins.
Exchanges do not like it. They don't like it when everything's circulating, eh? They don't like that.
Exactly.
They don't like that. Yeah.
So yeah, and FB is going to be its own chain. So it's a chain token. It's not a meme. So Binance, obviously they list memes, but they most of the stuff that there's 80-90% of it is all utility plays, and FB being potentially a governance token for that ecosystem in the future. I mean, obviously it's proof of mine, it's proof of work. So maybe that's not, maybe that's just something that represents it, but you will be able to LP pools will be FB
again. Yeah, like what they say on their website, there's a description of many different use cases for it, like access to other, I think, layers or something was one.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the way I'm perceiving this is with these unlimited layers, let's just call it countless layers. I don't know about unlimited. I think that was a terminology that was thrown there, but I feel as though this is where you can have different set of like things happening. Like I think OpNet wants to go there, right? That's what they're talking about. Let's just say like an OpNet, maybe like a whatever, like a BobNet, like a whatever else meta protocols could be on these different layers that does not have to share the same space as another protocol or standard, which frees up congestion, right? That's what I'm getting out of it. I think that's how it works. So it's very fascinating to see how this actually unfolds, to see if what my mind tells me is actually accurate.
Yeah, I want to. So yeah, Shizzy is right. You can't bridge Merle back to Bitcoin. You can bridge Voya though, which is surprising. So they have the option in the future, but as of right now, you're right. You can't bridge Merlin back to Bitcoin.
Yeah, but I think what they did with that was to show that how this is a native asset, and then they bridged it over to use up there only. There's no really like, why would you want to use Merle on layer 1?
Yeah. You know so I mean, they could probably do it technically, but they're not going to do it because it doesn't make sense for them.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Imagine creating a L2 or sidechain, whatever you want to call it, but your tokens use cases on L1. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. That's why they said fuck that. Like,
but my thinking though is OKX holds no receipt tokens. Like they don't hold really no wrap tokens, but they hold the Merle. And because Merle is that's the thing. You know what I mean? That's why thinking behind it is because I think the ERC20 version is the real version, and the BRC20 is just the wrapped version.
That's a reverse psychology, bro.
What was created first?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually,
it's like the egg came before the chicken.
Or
the chicken came before the egg. Sorry.
Well, I mean, technically, BRC20, it's never been in circulation. It's all in one wallet. So technically, it was, you know what I mean? It's not out. It's all, you know what I mean? Like I can mint out a token for something in the future and never use it. You know what I mean? And like Verothium originally had the Verothium something, and now they're using Verothium gas. So they changed the ticker of it. So I mean, you just don't know. But we did get a super chat. Shout out to Ernesto Gonzalez. He says, Francis, 100x track, or you are not bullish enough, my man Yagobi. Track only spam of track. I'm not really sure 100% what he's saying there, but shout out to Ernesto.
I get it. I get what he's saying. He's saying I'm not bullish enough on track with my, opinions there.
Okay.
My man, Mr. Yagobi, like, what's up? They're saying track only spam. So I guess he just put track. They spamming it. I guess maybe I'm not bullish enough, but I just feel like crypto, the way I normally do it, it's like, if you're waiting exponentially like so long for something, bro, it's just like it's crypto, things normally happen faster than that. So I think Track's been dragging along.
So I agree with you on that, except for if you remember the tokens that really popped off last bull run. Like think about Sheeb. Sheeb launched August 2020. This is something that just really came to my mind recently, and it didn't pop until April of 2021. So you're looking at September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So 8 months of people thought this shit was going to zero, and all of a sudden it's $1 billion market cap. So I think the timing matters so much with cycles, and you know that more than anybody. But we get so zoomed into the weeds a lot of times because like we've been here for day in, day out for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
That is true. I think SHIB though, that was in the midst of a bull run, maybe, right? Was that 2021?
So August 2020 is when it launched, though. So it's like right now. It'd be very similar to the timeline of right now, and then it popping in April of 2025.
There was a lot of NFT movement happening back then. Meme coins, yes, but NFTs a lot more. I think a lot of money was in the NFTs. And then I think coming into 2021, the bull run ended what, like late 2021, I'm pretty sure, right? Something like that.
November 2021. Yeah, was the high for
so then the bull run comes in. I think memes had a nice little narrative there. Obviously, NFTs were still popping off, Bored Ape Yacht Club and all those other ones. But yeah, I mean, like I don't know how to analyze that. I'm just trying to like recollect my memory here. But yeah, it is correct. I feel like, look, with utility tokens, you could see a longer waiting period for it before it blows up. I'll admit that. So maybe that's what they have going for them. I just feel like what a lot of people, like, this was my thing. Okay, this is exactly where my beef with Track was. When Shint came out with the use case, and it dawned on me when I'm looking, we actually was the number one traded token on Unisat for some time, and it was in large part because things weren't as busy as it was before. And I'll be honest with y'all, but we still had some nice trading volume. And I realized, I was like, what the fuck are the trading? Like, who's up there? And it was Track and it was Ghosty. I was like, okay, well, let me look into them, what they got live. I like, Ghosty has an unbelievable product to bridge and to do all these things and whatever. But what does that have to do with the token? It didn't have nothing to do with the token. And then I looked, that has everything to do with the team and the tech, but the token, that's not part of you. So I was like, okay, well, you're trading into this, you're buying this, misleading yourself into thinking that the token is the platform, and it's not. So I wanted to educate people on that. And then when I looked at Track, they didn't have anything out. Like, you keep on hearing these things of decentralized indexer, decentralized indexer, and it started to blow up. So now people are gambling off of speculation. Well, this motherfucker actually has it out live. So we were 3, and I was like, oh, we just flipped Track. Oh, and all the Track guys comes after me. And I'm like, okay, well, you guys are now speculating on something that would happen. This is actually here. So that's where my point was, and I think it's a good point. And even still to today, we're still speculating.
Well, no, because they do have an API for their indexer, but you get like one and two out that says Track doesn't track shit.
Yeah.
Our guy here.
But in regards to the use case, what does the token have to do with the fucking indexer, though?
So now it's you're giving the tokens up for a validator that is going to run the tap network. Okay,
that's fair. So you're using Track to pay to get validator access.
Yeah.
Is that live today? Like, could people pay, and do they get the access and they could run their own fucking?
They're paying. They're paying their Track.
Is that literally happening right now?
So they do it in spurts. So we're on round 5 now. So there's been 4 rounds so far, and it's like every 2 weeks. It's like a Friday every 2 weeks. I think the next one's gonna be next Friday. So it started off with, it was 300 track or 200 track for a validator, and then it was 300 track for a validator. Now it's like 400 for a validator. So every 2 weeks it goes up the amount of track that you need to pay for a validator up to 10,000.
So when you pay for it, do I actually have this running, the validator? That's what I want to know.
No, so these are just validator license. So in order to run a validator, you will need one of these license. But the validator, they're not actually doing it yet. So you're gonna have to wait until the system goes live. But you will have a license to do so.
So there's no real use case right now, still, even today.
For Track,
yeah.
It isn't, because you don't have access to it as yet.
Well, not with the token. Not with the token.
That's
and
what
one thing I will say is that you definitely didn't get the in my opinion, like the respect that you deserved with.
Bro, and I
agree with that. I agree with that.
And I don't give a fuck, because more times out of 10 I'm right. I'm not always right. Nobody is. And whoever says they are, you better be careful of that fucking guy. But what I'm saying here now is, time always fucking reveals things. And sure enough, I was right about the runes. I was right about Dog not performing well, and even Track. And look, I don't care if people like me today or not. I don't give a fuck. My job is not to come out here and try to be likable. My job is to come out here and try to predict what I think the market's going, bro. And that's what I do best. I honestly believe that. And I would say this. Yeah, and another problem I had with these guys was they wanted to meet up, and I love SMB, by the way. That's actually my boy, the English guy. Really cool cat. Really cool cat. I don't know if you guys like him or not, but I like him.
I think it's Benny's burner.
No, it's not.
I think it's Benny's burner. I think it's Benny's burner.
Francis has talked to him.
I've spoken to him.
Yeah.
I've spoken to him. He's a
So you spoke to Benny?
Yeah,
he has an English accent, right?
He knows how to put on a real good English accent if that's him.
But for a while, S&P was the #1 supporter of track way back when.
110%.
Like 2 cents.
Yeah,
so I assumed, I was like, is this Benny's burner? And I've
actually spoken to him a couple of times. It's a real guy from England, and he's actually a really solid guy. But I would say this, yeah, so they made a group and they wanted, and it was SMB. I'm not saying track wanted me, I'm no one special, but SMB, we spoke. He's like, hey, let's talk to this guy. And we did that, and we had a discussion over a Zoom call, and I could just tell, not SMB, the other guys, the developers were there. I said, look, guys, right now, if we want a partner, that's fine. Okay, you might be interested in that, cool. I could give you guys a use case, right? This is what I could do. You guys come to my sitehunter.com website. We could use track as a form of payment to give your users a use case. They're like, oh, why do you say we don't have a use case? I said, oh, well, sorry, please tell me, what is it? And they're like, oh, well, we're catering towards corporations or something like that, they said, or institutions to become validators. And I was like, but could you please name which corporation is holding track right now? I would love to know. It's fucking retailers. And I would love to help out your community. They didn't want to do it. And I'm like, so why am I making a partnership when it's a fake partnership for just the sake of saying we're partnering? You know what I mean? So, and then they said, so from there, I knew their focus was this sort of institutional sort of like business model for them and using people as community members to pump up the track to get them known. And sure enough, they went down that fucking route too, right? ICP, not ICP, fucking coin list and all this stuff and getting investments from VCs, which is I'm okay with. But I just wanted the people to know. I don't think you guys getting a use case anytime soon. And sure enough, today, you really don't have a use case. So this goes back to what I said. Every fucking single thing I motherfucking said, I fucking delivered on. And I don't care if people respect it or not, bro. I can look at myself in the night. I feel fucking good. I feel proud. I did everything I said I was going to do. Not only from a development standpoint, which I don't have. Well, now I do. Back then I didn't have any experience in that. But from other people doing shit, what I said that was unpopular comes to be true. If you can't respect that, then you lose credibility, not me, because you're not a realist. You want to live in La La Land. That's that.
Yeah, man. I agree. Well, Francis, man, I know you have something to do at 1, yes, and I just want to appreciate you for the time today, man. You kicked ass today. I love this kind of, like, I think us three together, dude. I think we could talk about fucking anything.
I love
we could sit around like talk about steaks, and it would be a great conversation.
I like it when I wake up and I was like, oh, Twitter, who's Shizzy, what's up? Oh shit, there's the link. You know what I mean? Let me go. You know what I mean? I like the random ones, the random invites. So yeah, do that more.
I'm gonna send it every day, bro. Don't make me send it every day.
I got some mega alpha. I'm probably gonna drop. I don't know, maybe in about a week or so. We'll see. Mega alpha.
As you said, I was open hours.
Hey, maybe it might be on your shore. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I got a major announcement to make within about a week. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Cool.
All right, Francis. Thanks again, buddy.
Thank you guys for the invite. Yagobi, we got to do a show together.
Yeah.
Shizzy, keep up the good work, guys. Love your work ethic and your dedication. And thank you for understanding me the most. So until then.
Always.
Remember I told you to say it on your own? You messed up on my show.
I know. I messed up. I just said later. And he was
yeah.
Oh, God, Francis. Give it to him. Give it to him, Francis.
So until the next appearance here on Ordinal Revolution, it might be on Francis Fractal Fridays. Your ass is on your own, bro. Later.
I love it. That was great. All right, guys. Let's. Any comments that we need to hit on before we get out of here?
Let's see. I think there was a couple of questions. Maybe not. People were just listening to that back and forth. That was good. Daniel was just asking how much Fractal raised behind the scenes. We don't know, but next time we have Francis on, maybe he knows. We'll see. Then we got some funny ones, just win Lambo, stuff like that, but nothing really. Oh, Mauricio says, can you run a Fractal node yet? I don't think it's ready right now for that, but it should be soon.
You can on testnet. You can run them on testnet right now. So you just go to their website. I think they can probably walk you through how to do it. But if you have an ASIC and you want to run it on testnet, you're wasting your energy. But I think you definitely can.
Yeah, you can practice. But yeah, guys, we appreciate you guys. Almost 400 people here on a Thursday. That's awesome. You gotta love it, man. You guys show up every day. I mean, we show up because you guys show up, and so we love that. If you get a moment, guys, check out our partners, BitPerp, a premium perpetual DEX. We were able to jump into the testnet last night. Awesome new interface, upgraded. So can't wait till they're able to announce when they're exactly going to launch, but it's going to be very, very fun. There's going to be trading competitions for testnet as well. We'll get you guys information, and we're going to do some live trading whenever that happens. Ordinal Hive as well. The blur of Bitcoin, guys. Go and visit beta.ordinalhive.io. Connect with your Unisat or MetaMask because it is scaled on Merlin. I think it's Unisat right now, or Xverse actually. Sorry, but it's scaled out on Merlin. Earn points because, like I said, they're about to have a campaign. So get familiarized, I can't even talk right now, with the platform so you can earn points before they stop that multiplier. And then also Fluid tokens, guys, they announced today, I think if you're a Billy Cat holder, then some good news for you guys because they are about to open up the very first staking vault on their layer 1 protocol. So you'll be able to stake Billy Cats and earn Billy tokens. They're going to do it up to, should we give them that information? How many they're going to max out at? I don't know.
Well, he's going to be on tomorrow. So
yeah, we'll save that for tomorrow. But check them out, guys. It's going to be exciting. This is going to be huge for TVL on Bitcoin's native layer. And then we got Verothium DEX, guys. They added the blue box and the Dragon Ball for single staking of earning VGAS on Merlin chain. Go visit them and click on BRC 420 to see if you have any of those to stake. And then finally, Foxy, our newest partner. They're going to have the second round of their beta game live. Clans are coming, guys. The Ordinal Revolution clan. You can join. Just go to our Discord and ask about it. It's going to be super exciting. We'll have them on probably next week. So we'll go over that.
100%. And guys, if you wouldn't mind going to check out ordinalrevolution.com. Let me bring it up right here. We have some of the best articles dating back all the way from last September. So check these out, guys. If you know someone new just entering the space, send them our website. We feel like you can really help them and really get them caught up to where we are today to kind of get into this bull run before we get there, right? So send them our ordinalrevolution.com. And if you guys are interested in some merch, please hit the store tab right here or this tab up here, and this will take you to our Shopify. It's the third party, guys. And see, I am in Switzerland. I got my VPN on, but this will take you to the Shopify is a third-party company creating this merch. We do not see your address. So if you buy something from here, we don't see it. It's all through a third party. We don't even look at it, and it's over there. And if your kids are going back to school, send them to school with the Ordinal Revolution school bag. My kids absolutely loved it. But yeah, man. And real quick too. So tonight, we're going live. Just for the members. So we're doing a 2-a-days today. So check this out. Members video. So just go to our channel. It should be right there. For now, you can go in and comment. But at right around 6 p.m. tonight, Eastern time, I'm going to go in and just make it members only. This is for our members, something special we do for you guys. We do it weekly. So if you're not a member, think about joining the membership. Come join us. So if you have any questions or want to take a look at anything, we're going to have some alpha. We're going to show you what we're doing with our 5K to 100K portfolio. So check that out tonight, guys. And like I said, if you're not a member, think about joining it. I think we give some really good insights and stuff to our members. But that's your opinion, not financial advice whatsoever. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and I think it's 3 p.m. UTC. I think I'm saying 4 p.m., but it's actually 3 p.m. UTC. So check us out, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload. Experts on reload. Man, pool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookie on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.